We got a good crowd today. Hey, Lisa. Sorry, is that what you just said, Jenny?
Yeah, you copycat. You're already on my boat. I knew you would get on.
All right, ladies, we're going to get started. I'm going to start the call off, and then we're going to go around a little bit. Happy Tuesday. So for those of you at Summit, so awesome, was probably one of the best yet. And for those of you that were not there, hope to see you next year. It's going to be back in New Orleans in case you missed that. So I'm going to share my screen really fast, and I'm going to go over some announcements in case you missed that also. There's so much going on, so don't get overwhelmed because you just take it one thing at a time, and we're all here to help, so it's no biggie. All right. Y'all can see my screen? Yes, no, thumbs up? Okay. So first off, collagen, like that was a huge thing. We all were hoping for this, and it made it happen. So I know all of us at Summit got it. We put it in our shake every single day. Amazing, amazing. This is huge to talk about. I know I feel like every single person I watch on Instagram, even like famous people, they are all using some sort of collagen. This is a huge thing to talk about because all the ladies want it. I don't know what that is. I don't know, Danielle, can you read all them? Promo codes, if you're not really sure what this is, I believe you had to be active, yes, to get these in your email, but they're a little code you can send to someone who's going to get a challenge pack, and they'll get $10 off. So it's like a little discount code that you would use, shopping online. So that's really, really cool. Just another incentive for people to jump in because, some packages are already discounted, and then they'll even get this $10 discount. So that's a lot of fun. And then, for those of you working more than one account, that's even more codes that you can share. This is our next new program coming, I believe it's at the end of September. Yeah, September 30th. This is called The Work, 6 weeks of the work. Super intense, kind of reminded me of the shift shop, but higher. But it looks great for those of people that like love hardcore and want to get ripped and on and on. I think we all tried all the new programs because we want to share what it's about. So this is the next one coming up. And it will run into those of us that are doing 100 mm, but you can still be talking about it because people are always interested in what's coming up next, especially those who get bored easily. So that's always good to talk about. This will be our January release. They always do a big release for the new year. This is a bar program. We don't have anything like this. So this is really good. Hopefully it takes off. I know a lot of ladies in my town go to bar. So, and I know Autumn has a few YouTube videos that are bar, and I've done some of those, and some of the girls in my group have done it. So this is exciting to talk about over Christmas and getting into the new year because it's something completely different. So our new, I just lost my train of thought, but like last year we had pumpkin spice come out for a limited time. We're going to have that again in the fall, and then Christmas we're going to have peppermint mocha. Woohoo! So I can't wait for that. And then another thing a lot of us were really wanting is vegan beach bars. Yay! These are going to come out. I believe it's the end of the year. I don't see a date, but I think it was. But it's chocolate almond crunch. So huge, huge. They have so much in the works. Like this is a lot of incredible stuff to offer. I know so many more people becoming vegan. So this is huge. I think it's just going to kind of lead that way as we go. again, if you didn't register for Summit, jump on it. That way you can go with us. And, you know, we can all worry about hotels and all that later. It's no big deal. Okay, if you'd missed this, you know, we went to the UK like 2 years ago. Now we are expanding to France, which is cool because we already have a lot of the product and info in French. So this is huge, just another area where you can reach thousands and thousands of people. So you can start, if you're doing hashtags, start hashtagging things in France. That's how you get, you know, those eyes on you. And yeah, they redid the Shakeology website. Y'all, I think I had gotten an email about that, but that's just some info on that. So those are announcements. I just wanted to run through really fast. And let's get out of here. Where is it? I lost you. I lost my stop share button. Where'd it go? Hold on, guys. That is so weird. You can't click it for me, can you, Danielle? It's usually right here at the top and it's gone. Huh. So strange.
Yeah, that is weird. At the bottom, maybe you can press share and it will stop sharing whatever you're doing. Try that.
Hold on 1 second. Technical difficulties.
Here it says stop participant sharing.
Yes.
Oh, got it.
Yay. Yay. Okay. Sorry. All right. So I'm going to talk about something I wanted to talk about that spoke to me a lot at Summit is leveling up, because we all get in these ruts, or we feel like we're not good enough for doing things, or we need to have like 8 million training classes and all this knowledge to run your business, or just to even start, which is like the farthest thing from the truth. You just got to start and go. Like, you don't need, you can jump in our training, new coach training or Diesel Nation training, and really, honestly, that's all you need. I mean, I've done a ton of training and jumped in things here and there, but if you're not applying it, it's honestly useless. So you've got to level up to your business, your hours, own your day. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. So if you're not owning it and setting a schedule of, you know, what you're going to do when, you know, that falls on you. Like, we are the boss of our business. So a few things I wanted to go over that I wrote down. So master something you don't know. So whatever, maybe you don't know Instagram or how to do pictures really well or whatever. Master it and, you know, go hard at that. Make something you're good at. This is what I love this. She said, everything you need to know to level up is free. And that is so true. Like, when I started, I didn't have a coach training me or showing me what to do. I literally went to Google and YouTube, and I watched so many videos of coaches just, you know, talking on how to run challenge groups, how to get to Emerald, everything. That's everything you have is free. Podcasts are free, everything. Like, you don't need to spend money on training. Everything we have to be the best is free. And we all like want freedom, and we want income, and we want this and that. And I love this saying that they said, of course it's hard and we get discouraged, but you asked for hard. If you want the freedom, if you want to get to the other side of that mountain, you ask for it. So just push through, don't give up. We all get in slumps, but that's where personal development comes in. You've got to level up, push through, because we ask for hard if we want to get to the freedom. You know what I mean? Again, applied knowledge is power. Take immediate action. All right. Also, leadership and really anything within this business is a mind shift. Even the workouts, trying to get results, trying to, you know, really dial in your nutrition. that, nutrition is hard for me. That is all a mind shift. And I don't know if y'all can see my shirt. I got this there. I love it. It says mindset shift is everything, because we always need that reminder. I tell my challengers all the time, when they're struggling, it's always in their mind. And I think that's really true. Again, take control of your 24 hours in a day. Make the decision to stop being selfish. So I know that might sound hardcore, but what they were talking about is share this gift. Share the workout, share the nutrition, share the beach bar, share the business opportunity. If we're not sharing it, it really is being selfish, because this literally can save people's lives. Health-wise, income-wise, relationships, it's a huge, huge deal. We all have the tools to make this business work. It's whether we want to work it or not and put it into action. I want to make sure I hit all the top ones that I wanted. I think that's it. So level up, that was a big thing I wrote down for myself, and kind of we all need to just say it to ourselves every day, really, like level up and put in the work for what the goals that you guys created. Hopefully you have I've got mine down here, a vision board. So I look at that every single day, and actually one of them on there is Mother and Daughter Day, and that is what me and Paige did all day today. So this is something I'm always looking at, and what pushes me. So hopefully, you guys have something that's pushing y'all. I'm done, so whoever's next.
I think you're next. You, Stephanie.
Sorry. Okay, so I am going to get real with you guys. This summit, I almost didn't go. And I actually, before summit was getting here, I was actually probably like a month or two before summit, I was already considering on quitting. I was actually thinking about not doing this anymore. I was starting to think about whether this was actually something for me, if I should continue doing it. So some of you guys that are new here don't know, but I'm going into 4 years coaching. And that first year I rocked that first year. I became an All-Star Success Club All-Star. And after that year, it just started going a little bit down, and another baby came, and I just started losing that momentum. And it happens. I know a few of us in here that has happened to us too. And I just started to lose my joy because I started to get frustrated with the lack of success that I was getting. And I started to think, okay, well, I need to get all these trainings. And I signed up for all these trainings, and I looked on YouTube, and I tried to get all of this, these new approaches and these new strategies and these new techniques and these new trainings. I got to do something different. I got to do something new because what I'm doing isn't working. So I got to try something else. And I'm always looking for the next big thing or the next new thing, and what this coach is doing for me to start implementing to see then if that works, because if it works for her, it's got to work for me, right? Didn't happen that way. So I just kind of like kept going through the motions these past couple years. And I got to this point this year where I just started considering, is this even worth it? Do I even want to do this anymore? Because it's just not working for me. And I ended up talking to a mindset coach, nothing to do with Beachbody. She does have a couple of Beachbody coach clients, but I started talking to her, and she asked me, and I was just, back and forth. We met through Instagram, just talking back and forth. And she asked me she asked me this question, if it was something that I wanted to back out of more than I wanted to stick it through. And it made me think, and it made me just change my perspective on, you know, on this opportunity and why I was doing this and why I was coaching and why I even liked coaching to begin with and why I even started this this journey. And it hit me like immediately, like, heck no, I don't want to back out of this because I love who I have become because of this. And I could not stop doing this because I'm afraid that if I did, I would go back to who I was, because I wouldn't have this joy, the community, the support, the accountability. You know, I wouldn't continue on this journey for my own personal health goals if I backed out, because it's this opportunity that keeps me showing up. I haven't stopped doing a workout program. Every time a new program comes, I sign up for it and I do the program, a nutrition plan, whatever. I still drank my Shakeology every single day, still had the Energize. And I knew for a fact that it was because I was still a part of this team. And if I leave this team, will I still have that? So I immediately thought, and I answered her, it took me probably like 2 seconds to say, no, I do not want to back out of this more than I want to stick it through. I want to stick it through more than I want to back out of this, because I want to continue becoming that person that I have become because of this opportunity. And let me tell you, I'm so grateful that I still continued on to going to Summit, because it was the best summit that I have ever been to. Okay, 4th summit right here, best summit ever. And it was because the theme could not have been more perfect for me than ever, because of what I was going through at the moment. So the theme was, you belong here. How freaking mind-blowing is that? You belong here. The exact question that I was having for myself just a couple weeks before Summit, asking myself, do I belong here? And there's the theme for Summit. I'm sure it was out there already and we knew this theme, but I didn't even pay attention. I was just too busy planning and coordinating and living life to even know that this was this year's theme. And it wasn't until I got there and we had our first general session where they had this whole video and people talking about why they were here, their story, and what this opportunity has given to them, the joy that they have gotten from being a Beachbody coach. And the theme was, you belong here. And I had to write it down. And I didn't write it down as saying like, you belong here. I wrote it down saying, I belong here. I belong here. You belong here. We belong here. That's what this whole thing is about. Ask every single one of you why it is that you love Beachbody coaching and why you like the challenge groups and all of that. And I'm sure most of you, if not 99 or 100% of you, are going to tell me that it's the community. The community is what usually brings most of us into this opportunity. So the fact that they're telling me that I belong here, it just amplifies even more so why it is that I even decided to become a part of this opportunity to begin with, and why I will not back out of this opportunity. And I will continue being in this opportunity and a part of this community, because we belong here and I belong here. And one of the things that I noticed going into Summit when talking to my mindset coach was my belief. It had nothing to do with what I was doing, okay? The work I was doing and all the training and stuff that I was implementing and or not. It had to do with my own personal belief, first and foremost. And the majority, you're gonna hear about it with the rest of the girls in this call, because the whole freaking summit had to do with mindset, and it had to do with your belief in yourself to be able to do this. Nothing to do with strategy, how to enroll this customer, how to sign up a new coach, all this stuff. Yeah, they talked here and this, blah, blah, blah about it. And you can get that on YouTube. You don't have to go to Summit for that crap. What you need is belief in yourself. And the majority of this summit was all about mindset. All about mindset. Even the freaking speakers that came, Rachel Hollis, Jade Simmons, all they talked about was mindset and getting our mindsets right. and believing in ourselves. And then once we believe in ourselves, because that's the first and foremost thing that we need to do, then we need to do the work so that we can have the success. Most of us, we do so that we can have, and then once we have, then we believe, right? That's usually how it goes. We do all of this work so then that way we can have what we want, and then all of a sudden we believe it because we see that we're having this success. And then that's when we start believing in ourselves, like, oh, I can actually do this, right? But no, that only gets us so far. We have to actually believe in ourselves now, first and foremost, before even having it, and then do the work that we have to do in order to, because it's not going to just come to us, right? We still got to do the work. We still got to implement. We still have to take action, but we have to believe in ourselves first. So before you pick up your phone and you start inviting someone, make sure that you have your mindset right. Do whatever it is that you got to do every single day, because it's a daily thing. Whether it's writing affirmations on your board, whether it's listening to a podcast, whether it's going on YouTube and picking up some, Les Brown or whatever motivational speaker that you like to get that motivation going, drink your Energize, whatever it is that you need in order to just get that energy going and that belief in yourself and that mindset right, then that is when you start doing the work. That's when you start having your conversations. That's when you start inviting, because then your energy is going to flow into that conversation and it's going to get to where you need it to go. And then one of the things that somebody said that I'm going to look for right now, and I highlighted it, and it's in one of these pages. Yeah, this is how many notes I took. What was it? What was it? It was like a so what, who's next kind of thing. Did I not highlight it? Somehow, someone, so what, who's next? So somehow, I'm going to have success. I'm going to get my challenger. I'm going to get a working coach. Somehow, someone is going to say yes. If they say no, so what? Who's next? Keep it going. Move it on. They're not ready for it right now. Move on to the next person. Don't dwell on the fact that they said no. Who cares? They're not your person right now. Maybe they will be next year. But you got to move on. You got to find the person who's waiting for you, who's looking for you, because we're not in the business of impressing people. We're in the business of making an impact. And then one of the things that they said, it's your job to motivate yourself. It's nobody else's job but you. So you got to do what you got to do in order to get yourself on that right mindset before you start doing the work so that you can end up having the success. And then just remember that it's a compound effect. It's that consistency. That's the thing that I was also lacking. I was lacking the consistency. Sometimes I would have this high in motivation to like do this work, and I would come with this high, this energy. You would think I was on Energize. And then all of a sudden it would just stop and I would go on this low. I wouldn't be posting for like days. I wouldn't be doing the work for a few days. And then I'll get in my high again and I'll start doing all this work and everything. And I'm just all in. And then it would die again like a freaking roller coaster. Okay. That's not getting me to where I need to be. I have to stay going and going and going and going and going and going and going all the way up to the freaking mountain and stay consistent with it, or else you're not going to get it. It's just like with our fitness, right? If we stop, if we're on a freaking roller coaster with our nutrition and our fitness and not showing up every single day, what do you think is going to happen? Maybe nothing, or something, but not exactly what you wanted. So you got to keep going and you got to stay consistent. So get clear on what drives you. What is it that drives you, and keep that. Write it down so you're constantly looking at it. Make that your daily affirmation on what it is that drives you and what is it that keeps you going. I have affirmations on my board right now. Believe you can and you will. It's like that saying, that we see all the time, and I think Jenny has it on her phone, and I actually wrote it down because I saw it on your phone. And we see this all the freaking time. She believed she could, so she did. How many times do we see that slogan? And then sometimes we just ignore it, right? And we don't really think anything of it. But it has so much power. She believed she could, so she did. She believed it first. She did the work, and she got what she wanted. She got the success. So believe you can and you will. I am a rock star coach. I am helping so many women and so many moms feel their best and creating time for themselves and making themselves a priority. I am leading a team of working coaches. I am providing for my family. I have this written down on my board and I read it every single day. I do what I have to do in order to keep that belief system high and my mindset right before I go and put in the work. So we just got to go all in, keep that energy up, and show up authentically. Okay? This is the reason why I say to get your mindset right first before actually having these conversations and going after those invites and those follow-ups and all of those to-dos and checking off your boxes. Okay? You have to get your energy up and show up authentically before having these conversations because they will catch your fakeness like a freaking fly on a wall. So you got to show up authentically. I think Desiree said it, what got you here will not get you there to where you want to go. Okay, and I love that. I think it was Rachel Hollis that said that, right? So what got you here will not get you there to where you want to go. So we got to keep leveling up. We got to keep showing up. We got to keep doing the things so then that way we can continue having the success of where we want to be. And you did not come this far to only come this far, right? So we got to keep showing up. We got to keep challenging ourselves, just like in our fitness. It starts getting a little too easy. So we got to up the weights. We got to tweak it up. We got to change it up. We got to keep challenging ourselves. So we got to keep leveling up in order to keep growing. Do you want it or do you keep saying that you want it? Right? What am I willing to give up to have the life you say you want? So it kind of goes with what I was talking about with my mindset coach. Do I want to back out more than I want to show up and stick with this? Do I want to give up more than I want to have the life that I want? And I'm pretty sure I know the answer to that. You know, if you can't handle the stress you're in now, then you can't handle the success you want to go. Because we, just like Desiree said, we asked for this hard because it's not easy to get where we want to go. So we have to be up for the challenge to go through the hard so that way we can get to where we want to go, because it's when we challenge ourselves that we are able to grow. And so it takes believing in yourself to keep the promise to yourself. One of the things has nothing to do with Summit actually, but I listened to this podcast with Chris, the extreme weight loss people. I forget what their names are. Okay, Heidi Powell and Chris Powell. Okay, they said that it's lack of integrity. It's our lack of integrity why we don't have success with whatever our goals are. And integrity is saying doing what we said we were going to do in the first place, right? It's that promise that we have for ourselves. So when we don't keep our own promises, is because you don't have integrity for yourself. You may keep your promises and show up for somebody else and your family and your kids and everybody else and drop whatever for everybody else. And you, no matter what, you don't even think about it. Of course I'm going to be there for you. Of course I'm going to do this for this person. But then when it comes for us and what we want, we're the first person that we break our promises to. So it's lack of integrity. So we have to show up. We have to have that integrity. And it takes believing in yourself to keep that promise to yourself. I think that's pretty much. So yeah, take ownership of your actions and create belief. Again, belief. It is not the thing you do. It's the thing that happens in others when you do what you do. So keep showing up and be that person that is in the job, that's in this business of being impactful. And the only way to be successful is when you don't quit, right? So I think that's it. But yeah, that's a wrap. Who's next?
Okay, drop mic. We're done. You guys have a good night. God bless. Good night. Go rock your business, and everybody become 5-star. Like right now, it's a non-negotiable. Like,
what are your goals for next year's summit? Because I know every single one of you are going to summit next year, right?
Energized.
I don't care, guys. I don't care about rank. I don't care about how many freaking Success Club points you make every single month. It's not about checking the dang boxes. It's really just about showing up for yourself and doing what you freaking said you were going to do in the first place. And it's just having the belief in yourself. If you don't have the belief in yourself, then don't do anything that day. Don't work that day. If you're not believing in yourself and you're not in that mental state at that moment, don't do anything. Drop the freaking phone and don't talk to anybody, because they deserve somebody who is ready to actually believe in themselves. Because if you believe in yourself, then they know that you will believe in them and that they can trust you to believe in them and push them to where they want to go.
I think my heart's racing now.
And I didn't even take Energize.
Oh my dang. Well, I want to show you what my why looks like. I don't know if anybody, well, Demetria will know where I'm at. Does anybody know where I'm at? I'm at the grocery store right now. I am at Wegmans, okay? This is the best place on earth. It has the best 80s music. And I already worked the hair salon. I had family time with my kids. I am sitting here, and while she was blowing my mind, I was setting up my invites for after this call. That is called the why. That is called, like, it doesn't matter what we do, we just do it well. Stephanie pointed out something really cool, and I want to kind of piggyback on this. When you guys break out this tracker, and I really hope you guys are doing this, because this is all you need. If you are sitting there going like, I don't know what to do, I'm going to call it out. It's right here. It's in front of your face. Get to your goals. Get to your why. Stop getting in your way. That is excess weight. You got to get the fear out of your meal plan. You've got to get the fear out of your meal plan. Stop feeding the fear of being afraid. It serves no purpose, not one bit. Every day before I grab this piece of paper, your why is going to change every single day, okay? So don't worry that, well, my why is because of my son. And today you're like, I'm not feeling that why. My son ain't strong enough right now for that why, right? Like, it's okay that your son isn't your why, okay? You know what your why might be for today? I just really want my Shakeology paid for today. I'm looking at my bank account and I want my Shakeology paid for. Like, be real with your why. I just did a very vulnerable post on my Facebook page talking about accepting your story. You have to accept your story, your flaws. They're not flaws, they're gifts, okay? So the big takeaway for me with Summit is something that I think the universe talks to every single one of us. Is whether or not you are willing to pick up your Clue phone and answer the phone, okay? And the answers are all in front of our all beautiful faces, okay? I'm a hairdresser. We talked about this on our leadership call last night. And I told Danielle and the rest of the leaders, I was like, you know what? I don't know if anybody's familiar with being a hairdresser, but when you open the doors for business and you walk in the door, nobody likes you. Nobody wants you. And nobody wants you to cut your damn hair because you're the new girl, and God forbid with them shaky hands, they want you to cut your hair, and they know that you're new. You know why? Because you put that nervous Nelly energy out. And I've had in the beginning, they'll go, so how long have you been doing hairdressing? I'm like, forever. My neck's all red, right? You fake it till you make it, okay? But here's the cool thing about coaching, and listen very well to me, very well. I think Wegmans is listening right now, and I think there's a guy behind me, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to look backwards. I'm being serious. No. Okay. So there's people. Trust me, there's regulars here. Show up every day. That's all you have to do. Do you hear me? Say it with me. Show up every day. You go in. It doesn't matter if you have no people to talk to, that you have no invites, that you have no follow-ups. Oh, I don't have anybody to talk to. Listen, do a post. If you get 10 people to like your post, go have 10 conversations with that people behind the scenes. Thank you for supporting my post, and start to get to know those people. You have to develop the mentality of just showing up and saying, where's the gift? How can I make it happen? It's not, well, I don't have good content and I don't have this and I don't exercise the way to not get it done. You have to realize this. How many of you, with a show of hands, get so frustrated with your challengers when they say to you, well, I didn't show up this week because I just didn't work out all week, but I had my shake. And you're like, dude, that's a celebration. Why didn't you do your shake extra? It's like, come on, right? Show up. Celebrate what you did today. I'm telling you right now, it is all about believing in yourself. Bottom line. And we talked about something else too. How many of you start your day not picking up your cell phone and scrolling with one eyeball open, but genuinely opening up a personal development book, opening up a Bible, getting insight timer and doing a meditation? Do you do that? Do you do that? And do you connect with it? Because that energy is your ticket. You got to feed yourself that energy. And I'll tell you what, today, I wasn't feeling my workout. I wasn't feeling it, but that's a feeling. It didn't go well with my why. Do you understand the difference? Feelings don't feed your why. So when you pick up your tracker and you just show up, and if the only thing you did was do your Shakeology, can you please be proud of that? Can you please be proud of that? Because that's what a coach does. A coach is proud of whatever they check off the box. And you know what else a coach does? They might even get on social media and say, I didn't do anything today. Because that takes balls, in my opinion, okay? So the biggest thing that I can tell you about your business is this. Everybody show up. My why, your why, everybody's whys, they're going to be different every single day. The energy is going to be different every single day. So don't worry about feeling confident. Don't worry about feeling nervous. Feelings are waves. They come and they go in our lives. They are gifts. They are there for a valid reason. But if you don't show up, how are you going to know if it actually will work? The weight in between your ears is the biggest thing you've got to do. So that was my takeaway from Summit. It was like, get out of your way, Stace. Show up. You don't know. You don't have to know. But what you do need to know, Stacy, is you got to get your energy. That energy. Feed it to yourself. It is okay to self-love and self-shout that out, because that's what people want. Why are you so happy? Ugh. Wait a minute. Can I get some information? Right? That's what they do. They hate that you're happy, but they want a piece of the pie. Okay? So remind yourselves of that. And next time you're low, call Stephanie, because she'll probably be on Energize and she can pump you up. Whatever. It's like whatever it is. But let me tell you, I came to Wegmans tonight for the call on purpose, because I'm showing a point, because I want you to understand something. How many of you tonight, let's be real, have you worked your business tonight? Have you invited? Have you done follow-ups? Have you done something today for your business? If the answer is no, guess what you're going to do when you get off this call? You're going to check some boxes off your tracker before you go to bed, so you can feel good, so you can wake up in the morning and go, I did something, and I did something that's better than nothing. Amen. Hallelujah. Drop mic. We're good. And there's my friend right over there. Right there. That's my friend. He doesn't know he's my friend. Not yet. Okay. He's here too, working his business. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. So just show up. Okay. Can we just show up? Can you just show up? You can do that. We can do that. So yes. And I had Energize. I definitely had Energize. I did. It's a fact. I'm addicted. So I love you guys. I hope this helps you. And I hope you see that even though we're under different roofs or different grocery stores, we are all on the same journey to just show up for our life. You have to show up for your story. And that's important. I'm done.
You ladies are so awesome. So awesome. That guy, he's my friend.
That guy, I don't even know his name. His name might be Bill, but he is my friend.
I like Demetria's idea. Give him some Energize. If he's working on his business, he probably needs it. He's working late.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna cover some of the things that were already covered, because Stephanie very clearly said a lot of Summit was about mindset. And so tonight, just by show of hands, how many of you would like to increase your income? Oh, what? That's all of you? Me too. So The biggest takeaway for me from Summit this year was that in order to grow your income, you have to grow your team. I know, you've all heard that. Like, that was your big takeaway, Jenny? Yes, that was my big takeaway. And here is why I'm going to share that with you. It sounds really intimidating to think, in order to increase my income, I have to grow my team, especially if you are a new coach. Like, grow a team. I'm just starting this thing. Like, how can I do that? I'll be honest with you. I've been doing this for 3 years, and the idea still intimidates me. And you want to know why? It's because of my BS. I'm not talking about my bullshit. I'm talking about my belief system. It comes down to my belief system. I have told myself for the last 3 years, I'm not ready to grow a team because of X, Y, and Z. And then I probably went through the alphabet like 3 or 4 times. I've done this 3 years. Like, I've gone through the alphabet of reason as to why not me. And the fact of the matter is, we are in our own way. Everyone has the ability to grow a team and to be a leader if you put the time in. I loved so much about Summit this year that I felt like every speaker that talked about where they came from, it was relatable to me. They talked about being in the nosebleeds at their first summit or second or third summit. Some of them talked about, I only brought one team member with me to my first summit. They all just shared, like, they came from nothing. Their first summits, you probably didn't know who they were. You walked right past them. Like, we walked past thousands of people in core and nobody knew who they were. Nobody's like, oh gosh, there's that. Nobody knew who they were. And then here they are on main stage, on leadership panel, hosting national wake-up calls, receiving the CEO award, being in the legacy club. Nobody knew who they were when they started. So at the end of the day, like, if it is for them, it's for us too. That's it, plain and simple. And until we buy into that, we're not going to grow our income. We're not going to grow our business. And I don't know about you, but I am tired of grinding challenge pack. I want to have a bigger impact than the one girl I sold a challenge pack to. If I grow my team and she grows her team and her coaches grow their team, that impact, like, guys, when you show up to Diesel Nation's picture, where it is literally a sea of red, it is because Christina and Becky decided to go for it. They didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't even have like all of the Google and YouTube resources that we have available now. They just decided, we can do this. And if all they ever stayed at was challenge pack sales, I wouldn't be here. You guys wouldn't be here. But they inspired women to level up and to grow their teams. And so for me, it kind of like hit me like an analogy. Like, how many of you are moms on here, or have step kiddos or fur babies, whatever it may be, or you're a teacher? There was this build-up season, right? Of it's going to happen. We're going to have the baby, or this class is going to start, or we're going to get the puppy. And then you're probably wondering the whole time, am I ready for this? Can I do this? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, bam, it happened. You have the baby, the puppy is home, school starts, and you just got to do it. Like, you just have to do it. And so for me, this summer was like, Jenny, this is the line in the sand. You've grown this baby for far too long. Like, it is time now to step out. And are there some days where I feel like a rock star mom? Heck yeah, there are. And are there some days where I feel like, somebody else should probably raise these children? Yes, there are. And that's going to be the same thing with coaching. And that's going to be the same thing as being a leader. But I'm never going to become the leader that I know God has created me to be until I step out into that. Like Stephanie talked about, like, you can't wait till you have it to have the faith. You've got to start going now. And so I want to just share some like practical takeaways that I got from, like, I don't know, so many different coaches. There was like little good things about each coach that kind of just stuck out to me. But for me, the thing that just kept coming over and over and over again is, Jenny, like, you have to change your BS. And you can insert whatever BS analogy you want there, because it fits. You have to get over your belief system. You have to get over your bullshit, isn't it? Like, it's time to go. And so these are the things that you can do to make that happen. And if you're not going to do it, then stop talking about the fact that you're going to do it. And so I joke with Desiree about, it kind of came up at our leadership dinner, but the movie Moana, right? I don't know. I have little kids and we've watched it on like a repeat. Thank you, Netflix. It was free for so long. But she talks about over and over again, when she's going to go get Maui and make him do this thing, she repeats to herself the phrase over and over again. I am Moana. You will board my boat. You will do this. And so that's kind of, it started as a joke, Des, like, but I've like taken this on. Like, I want to build a team. You will board my boat, and we are going places. Like, we are freaking wayfinders, and we are going to change freaking lives that will change freaking lives that will change freaking lives. And so the theme for me for the rest of this year until next time is, you will board my boat. And if you don't want to, that's okay, because we're leaving. We're going. So my practical tips for you, because if all of this success was for those coaches that you guys saw on stage or heard on the leadership panels or see on the National Wake Up Calls, if it was for them, it's for you and me too, because they are no different than us. They didn't go to school for marketing. They didn't go to school for leadership. They didn't go to school for sales or whatever you think that they must have that you don't. It's not true. It's not true. And so my practical tips are, the first thing is, you have to actually talk about coaching. And that for me is something that I don't do on a consistent basis. I will talk all day long about my challenge groups. And I do love working with challengers. Like that does like my soul. But I can do the same thing with training coaches too. So you have to get consistent about talking about coaching. And so you don't feel like you're a veteran coach. Who cares? Those people didn't either, but they were talking about coaching and they grew together with their team. It's the same thing, like I tell people all the time. You don't have to have your transformation to become a coach. People actually, I've had more success this year as a coach, and I'm my heaviest that I've ever been as a coach. Ever. Thank you, baby number 2. But people were able to relate to that. They weren't able to relate to size 2, Jenny. Well, that's great for you, Jenny. They didn't see the 10-month struggle that it took me to get there. And now it's like the 24-month struggle, but it is what it is. So you have to start talking about coaching now. And then you have to talk about it like you're talking to your grandma. And I thought this was such a really good takeaway, because if you make it seem like it's so complicated, I wouldn't sign up for it. So I thought that was, if my grandma can understand it, then there's probably a lot of other people that aren't understanding what I'm saying. So if grandma can understand it, that's how you share about it. Put what you want in 1-word, 2-word sentences. Nobody's going to take the time to read a paragraph about what coaching is. They're not in an Instagram scroll. You guys know, you read like the first 3 lines, you like it, and you move on. So the point was, she was like, you have to talk about it, and you have to talk about it in a way that people can understand and piques their interest. So then they can get the behind the scenes paragraph or sneak peek video or whatever you move them into next. Then the next thing was, you have to dig into PD about becoming a leader. So John Maxwell has like a gajillion leadership books. That was one of the ones that I wrote down. The author that I'm going to be reading books by, really listening. I'm a mom. I ain't got time to actually read. And then the other thing, there's 2 more. The other thing was invite to the team. So what are the top 5 reasons that you became a coach, that you're still a coach? Because that's going to speak to other people. So if you continue to share that, that's what's going to bring people to your team. Because if that's why you wanted to be a coach, they're going to want to join with you. And then the last thing was, see yourself as the successful person you are before you arrive, which again, that goes back to what we've all kind of touched on. You have to see yourself as that successful person before you actually arrive, because what got you here isn't going to get you there. So same thing as a mom, like you saw yourself loving your baby and taking care of your baby, or as a teacher, you saw yourself like having such a great class and everyone was listening during reading centers. And then the more you see those things happening in your mind, the more likely you are going to be putting into action things that will make those things come true. So you want to grow your income? I saw all your hands. So we're all growing our teams. That's just it. That's it. Like, you have the tools. Everything is figure outable. You guys found it on YouTube, Google, wherever. They can too. We're here to support each other. So if you're a brand new coach, if you're a 3-year in coach and you have a question, there's somebody in our upline or someone on our team who has the answer. So that's it, ladies. We're done with the limiting BS and we're moving up and level on, and you all will board my boat. We will all board each other's boats, and we're going. We're going. So those are my summit takeaways. No.
Okay, it's my turn, and since Jenny just touched on income, I'm touching on it a little bit more. Steph and Stacy and Des all touched on a lot of stuff that came from our main speakers in the general sessions. So this actually came from one of the workshops I attended, and it's how you can become an income producing coach with just part-time hours. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, and it all boils down to how we utilize them. So one of the question that they posed when they first started this presentation was, what would you consider real income? And I want you all to think about it, and I want you all to write down a number weekly, a weekly income number that you would like to see. So, and Steph kind of touched on this, where, you know, we like to see that success go straight up. And that's not always the case. It's not been for me, and I know many of you, it's not been that way. There's been ups, there's been downs. It's done the loop-de-loop. It's taken you off course. And I'm finally back on a good track. So success looks different for everybody. But the thing is that you have to give yourself permission to make that number that you just wrote down happen. So there's 10 activities that they talked about in order to become an income producing coach with part-time hours. So the first is to be a product of the product. That means that you have to start and finish a program. You have to show that these programs work, that these nutrition systems work. And, you know, it's also showcasing the products that we have on a daily basis. Are you drinking your Shakeology every day? Do you use the performance line? You know, we have the new collagen boost now. You know, are you showcasing that? Are you showing the benefits that we have all of these amazing products in this one-stop shop? So number 2 is prepare your mindset every day. So I'm going to be completely honest. The Lord has been pressing into me since January that I should be getting up at 5 a.m. It has not happened. It's been terrible. You know, I gave the excuse that I love my sleep and, you know, I need that sleep. And, you know, honestly, I was just being lazy and, you know, disobedient. So recently, since we've come back from Summit, I've really been working hard on this whole 5 a.m. deal. 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'm getting there. But the point is that I'm making an effort. So they talked about a YouTube channel called Be Inspired. I haven't checked it out yet, but it's full of like a lot of inspirational videos just to help get your mindset right. And then one thing that they talked about is telling yourself, and you're going to put your name in here. So I get to say, Alyssa, I get to do amazing things today. Stephanie, you get to do amazing things today. Des, you get to do amazing things today. So we always need to be staying in this place of constant gratitude so that we are more productive. So number 3 is use that business tracker that Stacy showed you. If you don't know where it is, it's in the file section. You can find it in the back office, but use it. It works. Before I found out about the business activity tracker, I was like all over the place. And now I have I know what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, I may not be checking off the boxes every day, but I'm doing what's important that I need to get done for that day. And they say to do it at least 5 days a week. I know for me, I typically unplug on the weekends because it's family time. And so I try to make sure that my Monday through Friday is utilized in the best way possible, that I am putting in as much work as I can so that I can take that time to have family time on the weekends. So we all have different pockets of time in our schedule. Most of my work gets done during nap time or quiet time. Depends with 3 kids who is going to cooperate that day. But I know what time works best for me. So it's finding those pockets of time that work best for you, where you can really dig into your business and lay the groundwork. Number 4 is expand your list. So you all should have a list, a place where you keep all of the people that you talk to, and that list should always be expanding. We should be constantly making new connections. And, if you don't have, like, if you feel like you've run out, you have challengers and you can ask for referrals. People are always referring you to, a store or a place to eat. Have people refer, to you to help them with their health and fitness goals. You can host a free group where your friends can add their friends so that you have a continuous growing list. And you can also follow new people on Instagram that you have common interests with, not just crazy people and adding people, but people who really would add value to your life and you think you would add value to their life. Number 5 is to create a business action plan. And so basically, write your week out. Have a plan as to what you're going to post every day of the week. You can use apps for Instagram to schedule your posts or to kind of see like how a picture would look on your grid. So apps like Planoly, Plan with 2 N's, you can use to help schedule. And then there's one that I found where you can actually see the best times of day to post on Instagram, where you have like the most, I guess, action or whatever. So number 6 is set big goals that push you. So do you remember the number that you wrote down? Is that number attainable? Like, is it super easy to get to? Or do you need to think bigger? So for me, when I went through this workshop, I had written down a reasonable number. And then when they came to this question, I was like, I should really push myself. I should really like set a bigger goal, because the bigger the goal that you set, the harder you're going to push yourself to get to that goal. So does your number need to be bigger? And put a date to your goals. As soon as I got back, I started writing out like certain benchmarks that I wanted to hit. And if you haven't listened to the Diesel Nation Summit recap call, Amy really touches on this. And if you've read Girl Stop Apologizing, if you have not, Rachel Hollis also talks about how to set those mile markers for your goals. If you don't have a roadmap to your goals, you're basically doing this blindly. And so have those dates for your goals. I know I have one that I want to hit by next week. So I'm working hard and pressing in so that I make sure that I hit that goal. Number 7 is to set weekly benchmarks. Follow up until you hear no. And it's not like, no, not right now, because that's exactly what it means. It means right now is not the right time. It's no, take me off your list. Like, quit contacting me. So keep continuing to follow up. And the bottom of the business tracker has a place where you can kind of keep track of the number of contacts that you have made each week. Number 8 is to have challenge groups that get results. And you need to participate in them, and you also need to help run them. Like if you're a new coach, then get with another coach and run a group together. And show up every single day, and it will encourage your challengers to show up every single day. Number 9 is consistent and intentional social media presence. So does what you're posting add value? Will it add value to someone's life? Make sure that you're sharing your journey. And also, it goes along with having that weekly plan. Have a general idea as to what you want to post for that day. And they talked about when it comes to your stories, post like 3 times a day. Don't like overflow it. So they say like breakfast, lunch, dinner to post. So, and number 10 is consistent team engagement and encouragement. If you're on the call, You've shown up. You are in, and you see that this call is important. The team calls are super important into growing your business and learning more on how to be a better leader. And, we are each in different areas of our business. Our leadership is different. You need to be able to teach from where you're at. And if your upline disappeared, mine did, could you run the ship? Could you, the boat? could you run the ship? And honestly, I could not, but I took initiative, and I found a way where I could get back in the game, and I could figure out how I needed to get to where I needed to go. And I reached out to leadership above me to find out what I needed to do. So know that you always have that as well. So the point is to know where you're going. You need to have a plan. Without a plan, there's no guarantee for success. So your goal should always be at the front of your mind every single day. Your why. Like, why are you coaching? Why are you showing up and working out every day? Your why should always be there. So here's the challenge for you, is to look at your weekly income goal that you wrote down, that crazy big one that you wrote down, because I know you probably just like scratched it out and you changed it. So what are 1 to 2 things that you need to do in order to drive your business to earn this? What do you need to start doing today? And could you say 1 month from today, on August 23rd, that you took action, and you can see the action that you took. You can see the success from it. You can see, all the hard work that you put in. So that is what I have for you guys.
Awesome. I'm next. All right. You guys were phenomenal. I know it's already 9:30, so I'm going to be real fast, guys, and just go through this and share my heart, and then just read a couple bullet points. So, weren't those amazing? Summit was phenomenal for me. This was my 6th. So at this point, I kind of feel like a grandma coach going to these. I feel like I've heard it all. I've been to it all. I've walked across the stage. I've sat in the nosebleed seats. I mean, you name it. I've had the full experience, ups and downs, but I felt this was different in the sense that I felt our team come together like it has never been together before. I felt the top leaders of the company, because I had, to go to the top training. They were so authentic and real, like no other trainings I've ever been to before. In the past, it just seemed, like, oh, I have all this success and this is what you do. And it just was like a kind of a fluff as to how they got there. But I saw the real deal this summit, and I saw some walls being torn down, barriers coming down from our teammates and from top coaches, that this is such a real, true, genuine, incredible opportunity and business that we are a part of. So I'm going to show you a couple pictures that I put together for you guys. And I know you've seen one circulating around, but I thought, gosh, why not share it, There's no better time than now to share it. If I could figure out how to share this. My desktop is a disaster. I'm gonna have to reshare it. Okay, so can you guys see this picture? How beautiful is our team? So I'm gonna talk on Jade Simmons, and the main thing that she talked about that stuck out to me, which she is a pianist, and actually had to look up how to say that word before I said it tonight, because I screwed it up, and my husband's like, babe, do you know you're saying blah, blah, blah? You could fill in the blanks. And so anyways, that's how you say it, pianist. But anyways, she just blew my mind on her story, on just her inspiration, and how she rose above being, the underdog, being a Black African-American, not knowing much except how to play the piano. So she said, no, I'm going to elevate. I am going to rise above. I'm going to learn how to rap and play the piano. I'm going to learn how to do beats and play the piano and rap on top of that. I'm going to share this beautiful clip with you in a couple days after I found on YouTube her whole speech at Summit. But it was phenomenal on how she just became how and where she is today because she simply said, I'm going to compete. I'm going to be the best that I could possibly be. And that's why she was on that Summit stage. That's why she is phenomenal at what she does. I started her book, which is called Audacious Prayers. I mean, she blew my mind, but it was, to me, what stuck out was just like what Rachel Hollis said, was the mindset on what got you guys here at this summit is not going to get you to the next summit unless you continue to elevate, unless you continue to transform from the inside out, unless you continue to build this community, what you're seeing right now. To me, I mean, this is what this is about. Changing from the inside out, coming together as a team, a family, building something special and unique, and always renovating. So who you see in this picture, whether you were there or not, I want you to completely change and become a better version of yourself for the next summit. That is your goal. Forget about the how-tos and the trackers. That will all fall into place. But if you could just focus on becoming the best version of yourself, it will all fall into place. I promise you, okay? Now I want to show you guys my first summit and this, did it do it? This summit, can you see this picture of me? I don't know if you could see it. Yes, okay. This was my first summit, you guys. And then this was recently, okay? I'll share with you in a second a little bit more of where I am with this summit and where I am now. But I can tell you wholeheartedly, I'm not the same person as I was when I first went to that summit in 2014. I have completely changed to become a better mom, a better wife, a better coach, a better leader, more faithful child of God. I am a totally different person. And it is because of this coaching opportunity that, yes, pushes us to be better, but more so makes us renovate, to always be changing and you know, like resurrecting ourselves from the dead to become new, right? That's kind of what Jade Simmons talks about, is just resurrect your old self to become a new self. And so I love that. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I really feel that every year we should be becoming a better versions of ourselves from the inside out. And so I wanted to share that with you because Stacy challenged us and our leaders read to do some before and after pictures from these photo shoot pictures we just did. And I'm like, let me go get my first summit picture. And yes, in between these summits, and the first one, I was a 1-star diamond walking across the stage. In between that, I had even crazier goals with a lead and income. But this summit, guys, I didn't walk across the stage for one thing. And I am more fulfilled than I have ever been in all the years that I've ever coached, okay? I still have all those accolades behind me. I still have all of the beautiful, successful things that Beachbody comes with when you reach successful points. But the points, the numbers, they're not anything compared to the person that you're going to become and the impact that you're going to make on so many people along this journey, including who you are, right? Which is your purpose, right? Your purpose on this earth. So I realized along this way, my purpose isn't just a coach to sell Payo, right? Or to sell our newest MM100. It is truly to impact the people around me, for it to create a ripple effect, right? To then help other people and them help other people. And it's this huge impact that we get to make. And so because of this opportunity, I am a completely different person. And I didn't walk across stage. I wasn't, shown at anything for anything that I've achieved. And you know what? It felt better than all the years that I've achieved all of those things. Because what's fulfilling to me is our team. I hope you can still see that picture, or maybe you can't. But our team to me is the most impactful thing that I think that I can say that has made the biggest difference with Beachbody and in my life. So really quick, Jade Simmons was phenomenal. The first thing she said, so the 3 things was leveling up that I took away: transformation and community. those are just the things that stuck with me at this point. And Rachel Hollis said, what you did to get here is not going to get you there, right? So for me, if I want to continue to elevate, I want to continue to grow our team and our community. I love to see us, and I said it on our leader call last night, I want to see our team triple and be way bigger at the next summit and feel even more that ripple effect with us doing dinners. And we usually do a top coach from our team a dinner, and it was phenomenal. Everybody was in tears and crying and the heartfelt stories, and that was the highlight for me. I want to do more of that, and that is creating that ripple effect for us coaches. So those are the things that stood out for me. But number one, she said, embrace endings. You have to let go of the things that maybe are holding you back to move forward, right? Whether it's fear, it's weight, it's rejection, it's maybe you have failed at this and you don't want to get back up, or you're afraid to get back up and move forward. Alyssa is a great example of that, right? No upline. She fell off. Well, she's going to get back on. She's going to steer the boat no matter what. And she's going to embrace endings, but then also embrace new beginnings, right? Number two, re-understand purpose. Okay, what is your purpose here? Your purpose is to make an impact. The more I believe you make an impact, and that's what she was going with this number two, was the more you're going to change lives, and that will equivalate to the numbers. But it has to be you transforming from the inside out and then get to those goals. But I've realized along this journey, by achieving the top of the top and the first and the last and everything in between, that if you don't have that purpose in there with truly helping people, the numbers they're never going to come. So you really have to keep transforming yourself. And that leads right into number three, always be renovating. I find that coaches get stuck and stagnant on this. They're not renovating. And we actually did this with our team last summit. We said, let's renovate our entire team. We came up with a new team name, let's renovate. And so we did. And that's why I believe that our team is stronger than ever, because we are renovating everything that we do all the time. But what if we looked into ourselves? Is your transformation renovating all the time? I know for me, I had to do that after baby number 3, because I got lost so deep into this black hole. I had to renovate and transform from the inside out over again. So my goal after this summit, I want to transform again with this new program. Like, amazing transform. Not just myself, but I want to be a better leader. That's what I took away from Summit. Be a better leader and transform in that way. So I'm going to grow until next Summit to be the best leader I can possibly do, read every single book, implement everything I read, and just be the best leader I could possibly be. So I need to renovate that. Number 4, embrace resurrection. Believe that parts of you must come back to life in order to reach your greatest height. So what are things about you or gifts that God has given you that you're not using, that you're holding back for some reason? The more that you use your talents, your gifts, the things that make you you, the more you can accentuate that with your business. Use those to accentuate your business. So what are your greatest attributes? For me, I'm a motivational person. I build people up. I see the best in them. I inspire people. I need to use that to help build people, and that will help build my leadership. So think about, what are your gifts that God gave you? Why are you holding them back? And use them to move your business forward. The last one, which was my absolute favorite, was set an arbitrary date to evolve. Okay, guys, you have to be constantly evolving. Always trust you already have the tools in your possession, or they will be added closer to when you approach your goal. Pick a date, right? Commit, and then as you go, you're going to find the solutions to that. Don't think you need to know it all the details. You are going to get there, but you have to be setting that date, and you have to evolve along the way. And I have found that you guys aren't setting dates for things. I think people are so afraid because they have failed in the past, and you have to get over that. You have to get beyond that right now. If you didn't go to Summit or not, you have to set a date. My date for next Summit is going to be, I wrote an entire list of how I wanted to feel, what I wanted to achieve. I want you to do that. I want to be this and that by Summit 2020. I want to feel like this, look like this, achieve this. Every detail of 2020 Summit, write it down, and then start working to evolve and reverse engineer from there. So I'm going to read a couple things that she said and close it. The seats will fill up with the ones that are likely designed to receive what you have to give. They will see something in you that they want. All you need to do is be powerful. I was blown away by that statement. The more you evolve and become your best self and transform and renovate over and over and over, you are going to become so powerful. I believe you're going to become magnetic. The people that are going to need to be on your team will just naturally gravitate towards you, okay? She says your coaching roster will fill up, not by random likes, not by random followers or random people, with the ones that see something in you that they want to grow into, right? But that can't happen if you're not renovating and growing and changing to be your best self. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So remember, guys, when you are on your way to be making big moves, right, life's going to happen. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. As you've seen, you know, it's not always been rainbows and butterflies for me in this journey, right? But I kept pressing on, I kept changing, kept renovating, and guess what? The work is not done. I need to keep renovating no matter what and changing for my purpose, for you guys, for my family. And so one last thing she said, when you're on your way to achieving all these things, when you're working really hard, you're going to have the naysayers, you're going to have the haters, you're going to have the people that say silly stuff. I've heard so much of it and even had unsupportive family at times. But you're going to not take offense, you're going to take note, and then you're going to have to decide that you are going to educate, inspire, entertain, and transform off those things instead of reacting, right? So that blew my mind. She was phenomenal. I'm just ready to renovate. I'm ready to grow even more because I can't get to here if I'm just going to stay doing what I've been doing right here, right? It's not to achieve walking on a stage. That's pointless to me at this point. But guess what? It feels good in the moment, right? But to me, I want so much bigger. I want financial freedom. I want to see you guys achieve financial freedom. I just want to make such a bigger impact than what I already have. And that's going to take me growing more. And guess what? When you grow, I believe you attract so much better people. I found my leaders are so much better than a year ago or even 2 years ago because as I evolve, my people are on the same level as me. So I hope you guys found great value in this. You've got to get to next summit if you were not there. I think all of our lives were changed in just some unique way by the presenters and just our team and the community and just belief. I mean, Stephanie was phenomenal. I think she was like mind-blowing tonight. But do you guys have any last words on anything or questions?
Danielle, can you repeat what you said after? It was like the second to last thing that you had to note about. You said for us to renovate and think about what we want to feel and look like and feel like at Summit, but then you said something right after that, and I wanted to write it. Dang it. I wanted to write it down. I couldn't get to it.
I had my notes, but they disappeared. Okay. What you want it to look like and feel like.
Like you were saying, it was right after you said that about setting a date. You said set a date.
Set an arbitrary date to evolve.
Yes, and then it was after that.
Trust that you already have the tools in your possession, or they will be added to you the closer you approach the goal. Pick the date first, then commit to finding solutions. The seats will fill up with the ones that are uniquely designed to receive what you have to give. I didn't add that in, and I was kind of like sharing my heart and thoughts, and I didn't really read some of my notes.
Okay.
Did that kind of answer your question?
I think it was just along the lines. I really like what you said about you attract better people when you grow, better for lack of a better word, but when you grow, it's like you can't stay the same and expect this amazing growth and that's not going to work. I don't know, but the way you said it was like it just really made so much sense. So yeah.
I mean, I got to be honest, I think the first handful of my coaches that I signed up with, like they're no longer really coaching because, you know, like we all have grown. I've grown along this journey and they decided not to grow, which is okay. But I love so much that this pushes you to grow and become your best self. And you might think like, well, how do I grow? I'm already like, you know, strong and great in this area and that or whatnot. But I feel like once you stop growing, you start slowly dying. I don't know if you guys have heard that before, but it is very true. We got to grow to be better parents, better spouses, better leaders. And this business teaches you to be a leader by growing. And so as you realize, not everyone's going to stick around. Majority of people I first signed up, they're gone because you have to grow so much that, you know, you need to become a better person, but also that, I lost my train of thought. My brain is like shutting down. It shuts down. It's summer. But yeah, you got to keep growing.
Love it.
Any last thoughts before we wrap up?
I just think the biggest thing is, you guys, is coaching is everyday therapy. That's really all it is. Share your therapy. Share what is, I know that sounds scary. It's like, well, wait a minute, therapy's kind of private. It's sacred. I'm not saying share your deepest, darkest, whatever, but if you treat social media as a therapeutic session or a Dear Diary entry and not give a hoot what anybody thinks, other than you're just going to inspire somebody and you healed yourself a little bit more, that's coaching. So like, that's it. That's all it is. You don't have to pay $160 a therapy session a week. You get to have it for free every single day because you decided to be a coach. And that's really what it is. So once we get through all the clutter of the fear of coaching, the fear of invites, what am I going to do with this? It's kind of like you kind of have to go through all of that to be like, oh, okay. So be okay going like this right now. Be okay in there. We call it the valley. Rachel Hollis called it that, right? So that's okay. Let go. Share that. It's all good. And work your tracker.
All right, y'all. Have a great night. Keep renovating and growing and just plugging into our team. I feel like our community, it really is everything that sets us apart from other businesses out there. To me, that's the most special part at this point. And let's just do this. Let's get to our dreams, our goals, our purpose, mission, all that great stuff. But most importantly, let's do it together. I think that's the funnest part.
Yes, and get people in the sneak peek tomorrow because they need this.
Yes. Get those posts in tonight, tomorrow, polls, all of that. All right, guys. Have a good night.